At exactly 4 in the morning, when even the raccoons had gone quiet, I shot awake to this violent pounding on my front door, not some gentle knock, but the kind that rattles your bones and makes you think you're about to star in the next true crime documentary. I stumble to the window, heart racing, and who do I see under the streetlight? Karen. Yeah, that Karen, queen of the HOA, dressed like she's about to host the Oscars, and flanked by two overdressed guests who look like they'd rather be anywhere else. She's shrieking about my Jeep being in the driveway, her voice carrying down the whole block, claiming her precious guests need my space. And as I'm still trying to wrap my head around the absurdity, I see red and blue lights flashing. Karen actually called 911 over my Jeep. At 4 a.m. By the time I crack the door, I'm smacked with her perfume cloud and that shrill voice accusing me like I'd robbed a bank. "You're violating emergency hospitality codes," she screams, finger wagging. The HOA allows me to reassign parking as needed. Even the cop can't hide his exhaustion, pinching the bridge of his nose as he asks if the Jeep is mine. I tell him yes, and he smirks, already knows this is nonsense. Karen launches into bylaws and guest rights, but the officer calmly explains that private driveways aren't his jurisdiction. Karen gasps like he just burned the Constitution, storms off declaring war. You'd think I'd feel relief when my door's shut, but no. What I felt was dread. Karen never lets things go. By breakfast, neighbors are buzzing. Some laugh, some warn me. She's got a grudge list longer than Santa's naughty column. Within hours, word spreads about an emergency HOA meeting to deal with my so-called ongoing disturbances. I sit with my coffee, shake my head, and dig out the dog-eared binder of HOA bylaws. Sure enough, private driveways are off limits, black and white. I highlight everything, snap proof, and wait. That evening, the clubhouse is packed like a courtroom drama. Karen stands smug at the front, spouting about community harmony and painting me like the neighborhood villain. When it's my turn, I flip the binder open, calm as can be. "Let me back up a sec," I tell the room, then read the exact clause aloud. Driveways are private. Period. People lean in, phones out. Karen turns scarlet, tries to shout me down, but then Greg, a quiet neighbor I barely knew, stands up. "She did this to me too," he says, voice steady. Suddenly, it's not just my fight. The room erupts. Mailbox rules, trash can timing, wind chime bans. One by one, her victims speak. The board president finally bangs the gavel. No violation, case closed. Karen storms out, muttering about appeals. That night, I park my Jeep like a flag on conquered soil, but sure enough, next morning there's a neon orange violation taped to my door. Jeep parked too long. Doesn't exist. Next day, another. Tire marks on driveway concrete. I laugh, but it's clear, her new tactic is death by paperwork. So I fight back with tech. High-def cameras everywhere. First night, I catch her sneaking with a flashlight, peering over my hedges. The red camera light spooks her back inside. I save the footage, label it Karen Midnight Patrol, and brace. Then comes her big party. Fancy cars, high heels, the whole clique. She directs guests into my driveway again. But I'd anticipated it. Installed steel bollards that morning. First guest pulls up, sees the barricade, backs up and blocks the street instead. Chaos. Mailboxes blocked, hydrants too. Tow trucks arrive, neighbors record. Karen storms toward my porch, slips on the curb. Yeah, that happened. And the whole street howls with laughter. Her grand event becomes a viral blooper reel. From then on, it's pure escalation. Anonymous notes in my mailbox, venomous rants in the group chat, neon notices about disharmonious landscaping. Some neighbors flip sides, publicly defending me online, which only fuels her fury. But the real twist? She tries to buy the vacant lot next door to convert it into community parking. Translation, her permanent launchpad for harassment. I make a counterplay, pull every string, and buy the lot myself. When she finds out, she unleashes banshee screams in the street. I just hand her the deed, smiling. Within a week, I build a tall fence and install motion-activated sprinklers. First time her guests trespass, they get blasted with icy water. The block roars. Memes circulate. Karen with snorkels, Karen rafting. The neighborhood mood shifts from fear to comedy. She doesn't stop, of course. Files complaints about the fence, the sprinklers, even my mailbox color. All dismissed. Hosts another party, but no one shows. Her power crumbles. In desperation, she drags me to court, accusing me of obstructing community harmony and causing her emotional distress. Her lawyer looks embarrassed as I roll out footage, testimonies, bylaws. The judge doesn't even blink. Case dismissed, with a warning to Karen about harassment. Walking out, I get a standing ovation from neighbors. But the real climax comes one night when sirens flash again. Karen is out front, waving papers, shrieking at the cops, except this time they're here for her. They hand her documents, lead her to the cruiser, and drive off as half the block watches in silence. Turns out months of complaints finally stuck. She's cited for misuse of emergency services, harassment, stripped of her HOA power, barred from contacting me or anyone else. The silence afterward feels like a clean slate. Weeks later, the moving truck arrives. Karen leaves. No speeches, no scene, just gone. The block celebrates. Someone even brings a Jeep-shaped cake. Laughter echoes where whispers once lived. That night, I park my Jeep across her old driveway, raise a soda bottle, and toast to peace. A young family moves in soon after, kids playing, parents waving, neighbors breathing easy again. And you know, looking back, it's wild that all of this started with one Jeep in one driveway at 4 in the morning. Sometimes the smallest stand sparks the biggest change. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line? Have you ever stared down a Karen in your own life? Someone who tried to twist rules just to feel powerful? Do you call it justice when they finally fall? Or just two stubborn sides clashing? I'd love to hear where you stand. Drop your thoughts below, because trust me, this story's not just mine, it's every neighborhood's.